Hey, this is Carl, and today we are going to unbox the very first gaming statue in the channel. So stay tuned. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be a gaming related statue and it's from the Final Fantasy franchise, the FF7 or the Final Fantasy 7 franchise to be more exact. So this was produced by Blackwing and Blue Sky Studio, so they did a collaboration to produce the statue. And by saying FF7, I think a few of you would already know what statue this is. Okay, so let's start with the unboxing. This is actually the very first time also that I bought something from FNC Anime Shop. I'm not sure what that is, but that's supposed to be the source for anime statues. Okay, so we're going to unbox Sephiroth. You can read it from the top view camera. This statue is actually quite heavy. Okay, so this is the front of the box. We see the portrait of Sephiroth. We have his name, the studio's name there. We have his name again here on the side. Nothing on the back. And the same thing on the side again. And you've already seen the top one. Okay, so let's start. No Velcro strap. So we do have like a plate here. Let's grab that first so we don't forget. Okay, so we have the plate here for Sephiroth. Let's remove him out of this ziplock. Okay, it's actually quite heavy. I think it's made out of real metal. Okay, so we have here Sephiroth. We have his name, the studio's name. The edition size is 128 pieces worldwide, and I got number 116. Okay, put it there. Yeah, it's definitely metal. Let's get this foam out of here. Okay, so we're going to find the base. So the base is at the most... I'm gonna go grab the base now. It's at the most lower layer of the foam. It's actually very, very heavy. Okay, so we do have a sticker here. You just see the studio's name and a black and white portrait of Sephiroth. No edition size or edition number. Okay, so we do have a sub base here, which says Sephiroth. And on top of the sub base is we have a bunch of rocks with some red spots there. So I'm assuming those are supposed to be like hot areas of the base. Let's go back to the first layer. Okay, so here we have Sephiroth's sword. I think this is called the Masamune, not sure. And I'm guessing this is metal. So definitely metal, and it's actually quite long. Really, really nice sword. I can even like hold it like this, like a real sword. Okay, moving on. Let's grab the small stuff first. So we have one of Sephiroth's arm, and we have his right arm. There are a lot of textures here, leather-like textures on his arm as well as his gloves. Really nice paint here on his shoulder pads. Really like it a lot. I wasn't actually expecting much from the studio since I have no experience from them yet, and I tried searching YouTube for other statues from them, but so far I'm already liking what I'm seeing. So here we have his left hand, very similar to that of his right. No difference. It's like it's copy paste then mirrored. Next is we have a random metal thing for the base. Does have a peg here. Wonder where it goes. We'll figure out that later, I guess. Now it's time to get Sephiroth out. Okay, so Sephiroth almost came in one piece. There's a lot of textures all throughout Sephiroth's suit. I don't think there's an area without any textures. His boots does have dirt on them, which is a nice touch, I guess. It's painted pretty good. It's almost just two colors actually, black and gray or silver. You can actually see a lot of the stitchings on the sculpt too. So well done by the factory. So Sephiroth's foot does have a key and peg, which will definitely go to the base here. But I don't think I should be installing Sephiroth first, since there's still a lot of keyholes on the base. Okay, so next is the portrait, and I'm actually quite afraid because I know Sephiroth's hair are very thin and it might actually break during shipping. But the good thing is that it came in 100%. So there's no breaks or whatever. Really, really cool. So here is his portrait. It does look like that it's Sephiroth. Really nice eyes. I think his eyes are glass eyes. It looks pretty cool. It's the first time I've seen one. Anyway. Oh, there's a break here. I don't think it's a break, but it kind of looks like that it's a seam here and on the opposite side as well. But anyway, that's fine by me. Not really that picky. Portrait, and there seem to be some gaps here on his chest. Figure out that later. So that's the last piece on the first layer. Okay, moving on. We have another random metal thing, which is very, very similar to that white Magneto from XM. It looks like it's inspired from that. So I'm pretty sure this will go to the base here below. Let's see if I can install that without removing Sephiroth. So there, it's installed here. We have a very big metal piece. So it goes here. At the back of Sephiroth, there's a pretty big keyhole there for this guy. Very easy install, as you can see. So this metal thing does have a peg here, so I'm guessing it will help support the wing of Sephiroth. Okay, so we have Sephiroth's wing. He only does have one wing since he is called the One-Wing Angel. We need to remove the portrait first. Sephiroth does have a key at his back for the wing, so might as well install the wing now. Wow, that it installed pretty good. It's actually pretty well. So this guy helps support the wing since the wing is quite big, as you can see. So we're going to install the portrait back. Okay. Moving on to the last layer. We have yet another metal piece with some bronze pipe there and nothing much else. Okay, so I think this will go to the sub base since I did see a few. Okay, thanks to June for pointing that out that I need to install it here. So let's do that real quick. I'm not really confident on how this guy fits. It's very, very loose. I think it needs some tack to hold it in. So as you can see, it's quite loose. Moving on. We have two very small metallic thing. Not gonna find that. I'm gonna install that later. Again, we have this massive green pipe that looks very similar to that of the white Magneto from XM. So it does have a key here. I'm guessing this will go somewhere at the back or maybe at the front. Okay, so this guy will go to here, to this guy. There's a keyhole here. This is quite a complicated statue to assemble. Moving on, we have another thing like this, which is very similar to the Magneto statue that I keep telling you guys about. I think this will go here. I'll figure that out later again. So we have another metal thing here. So this one will definitely go to the base. It's about the same size. Yeah, it's not. So this is the right one. We have another random metal piece, which will go here on the side. Okay, there you go. And one last random metal thing. The paint here is actually quite good, and this one looks like kind of like a sword or a metallic tail. So let's have this peg here. Where does this go? This is quite a very complicated statue to assemble. Okay, so I figured out why this one is quite loose. It's supposed to connect here like this. So we're gonna try and install that now again. So this guy goes here. Now we have to figure out where this guy goes and this small thing. Anyway, I figure out where these two metallic stuff go. They go here. The back. Okay. Where else do I need to install stuff? So this guy apparently goes here on the front. Definitely very complicated statue. Okay. So the last guy that needs to go somewhere is this piece, but can't find where it goes.
Give me my phone.
Okay, so I can't find where this last piece goes, so gonna search it. After looking at the image, I finally found where this goes. So there's a key and peg here. That's very hard to see. And voila, we have almost finished assembling Sephiroth. Okay, so left arm. Why don't you go in? Okay, and then right arm. Don't know which arm holds the sword. I'm guessing it's the right one since... Okay, so I think I need to remove this guy first. Okay. So yeah. Now we have finished assembling Sephiroth. And the blade, the Masamune, is quite long and I'm afraid that I might hit it and the left arm will remove and break something. And hopefully the weight of the sword, since it's made out of metal, won't break his left hand, since hands are usually fragile. Okay, so a few things happened after I assembled Sephiroth. One thing is that I installed this piece here wrong. It was the opposite side, so I just had to rotate it and it's all good now. It's fix. I also use hit blower on Sephiroth's left hand, so he is holding the sword really well now. He is on the edge of the shaft for the sword. And also I found out that there is a mini USB port here below, which does light up. I didn't know that this statue lights up, so there's also a button here, which is really funny. And there you go. So the fire stuff on the base lights up, which is really cool. Anyway, let's do a quick measurement on Sephiroth. Obviously, the highest point of the statue is his wing, which is at 27 inches tall. And as for the width of the statue, it's around 27 inches wide. And as for the depth, without the sword first, it's around 12 inches deep. With the sword, it's probably around 24 inches deep. Anyways, in case you're wondering, the sword is almost 23 inches tall. So my final thoughts on the Sephiroth is that the base is quite complicated to assemble. There's a lot of different pieces there to complete the base, and since there's a lot of pegs, keys going to each other, the resulting is there's a few visible seams there. It doesn't really matter that much since you can't see the seam because Sephiroth here is standing in the front, which is okay, but if you do look for them, they will be there. What's also neat is that they added this metal thing here to support the wing, so the wing will not lean over time or fall, which is very, very good. They also use glass eyes on Sephiroth, which is really, really cool. It's the very first time that I've seen glass eyes. So what they did is that they even carve a hole on Sephiroth's eye socket to insert the glass eyes, and the effect is really lifelike. It's really, really different from the usual decals. I really love the glass eyes effect. Though it kind of looks like that it's a Barbie kind of eye sometimes. But on this specific statue, it looks pretty good. And I've already mentioned this before, but there's a crack here on the hair of my Sephiroth from both the left and right side. So I'm guessing both these hair are two different pieces. So it broke during shipping, it's separated from each other. Though it's not that obvious and it's really not that irritating to look at, so I'm not gonna mind that at all. What I don't like in the statue is that there's a lot of pieces that are just painted with one color, but they just added some shading. One good example is the wing. It almost looks like that it's just painted with gray, then there's just a bunch of shading there. And all the metal parts per custom is they just painted it with this gray metal, dark gray kind of color, and be done with it. The suit, there's no problem there because Sephiroth does wear a black suit, though they added some light gray kind of highlight, which is a nice touch. I really, really love the print they did. I think it captured a lot of the intricate details and textures of the statue, which is a nice touch. And I think the producer of this statue also owns their factory. Like, the pieces here are actually quite heavy. Like, they're not that hollow compared to other statues. And also forget, they did use a real metal for the sword. It's quite heavy, so I'm a bit afraid that the left hand or finger might break in the future. Hopefully not. Kinda wish they have a plastic switch out just so you can replace it when you are going to display it, so it would last longer. Yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say. Oh, and by the way, the base, the statue does not come with a USB cable for the light up feature. You have to provide that yourself, as well as the AC adapter. The power adapter, they don't have that. And yeah, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. So that's it for me. Like and subscribe. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.